last week, they all closed. These children, none of them has died of COVID. None of them, they are all alive, and we know they'll come back safe to continue their studies.
By 1730.
God has protected our boys and girls. These boys and girls come from Kanyama,
at least better late than never.
And then they come to school, and then they go back. None of them was died. We have complied with what the Ministry of Health has provided. Social distancing, face masking, what? Hand washing. Once you comply with it, then you have no cause for worry. We have an evidence of experience as education that from amongst the grade 7s, 9s, and 12s, none have died of COVID. And so our plea and our desire is that schools should reopen. Time and when, I don't know, will be guided. But that's our plea as educationists, because we know we are losing a lot in terms of our generation. We may lose our generation if we take time. You can't see the impact of this today because we're a journalist, because we're a doctor. I can tell you, a few years from now, we'll begin feeling the consequences of this permanent closure of institutions in the world. Education remains the hope of every nation.
Health Minister Dr. Chitalu Chilufya has disclosed that 71 districts have so far recorded COVID-19 cases, indicating a wide geographical spread of the virus in the country. Speaking during the daily COVID-19 update this morning, Dr. Chilufya disclosed that the country has recorded 34 new COVID-19 cases, bringing the cumulative total to 12,415. He further says the country has recorded 3 new COVID-19 deaths, the last 24 hours taking the death toll to 292.
In the last 24 hours, we conducted 729 tests, out of which 34 came out positive. We unfortunately recorded 3 deaths, 1 facility death at the University Teaching Hospital, while we were waiting to move the patient to Lem, the 55-year-old hypertensive patient with underlying challenges of obesity, did succumb to COVID-19 after developing respiratory failure. The other modality involved a 74-year-old man lady, again, who had some underlying challenges and also succumbed to COVID-19. We have recorded a routine dead case in Lundazi, and this is the first time we're recording a BID in Lundazi due to COVID-19. What is also unique about the figures for today is that we've seen districts that have not recorded cases before. Today recorded its first case of COVID-19. This then brings the number of districts in the country that are affected by COVID-19 to 71. Again, that shows the generalized infection and the wide geographic spread. We do take note that 90% of the cases detected have recovered so far, and that's a decent recovery rate. But these good outcomes are only possible.
The United Party for National Development, UPND, has charged that the problems the country is currently facing have nothing to do with privatization. UPND Chairman for Information Charles Kakoma has noted that this is because the late third Republican President, Levi Mwanawasa, managed to run a successful government after the privatization process. Mr. Kakoma further says it is not privatization that occurred years ago that has resulted in overborrowing, among other economic challenges. And Mr. Kakoma adds that the party will be left with no choice but to take FDD leader Edith Nawakwi to court in order for her to prove her allegations. This is according to a statement issued to joyfm News.
At that time, more than 30 years ago, the person who was the Minister of Finance was the FDD President, Edith Nawakwi. She should explain how she was authorizing the sale of shares in parastatal companies, including the mines, without her knowledge and the approval. Since she has continued to issue statements that are libelous, we remain with no option as a party but to take her to court so that she explains in court how Hakainde sold the shares and pocketed the money. Hope that she's ready to explain that to the court and not through radio and the television addresses. That is not sufficient. She will explain it in court. We also know that Hakainde Hichilema was a mayor consultant. Therefore, we as UPND have now taken this not as a fight by Hakainde Hichilema alone, but the party will also join Hakainde Hichilema to fight this battle.
The National Legal Aid Clinic for Women says there is need to sensitize traditional leaders on the importance and value of land. National Legal Aid Clinic for Women Executive Director Mandy Manda says sensitization of traditional leaders on the importance of customary land will deter them from hastily selling land at a cheaper cost. Ms. Manda was speaking during a media breakfast in Lusaka this morning, where she shared highlights on a project that the National Legal Aid Clinic is implementing titled Promoting Land Rights for Rural Marginalized Communities, Economic and Social Empowerment, with an objective of sensitizing the media on the importance of land rights with specific focus on rural communities.
They sell the land and they give it away for peanuts. Clearly, this is an issue of behavioral change. People need to know that if with land, if you can have land, you will never ever be poor. Because with land, you can do a lot of things. So we are also, through our advocacy, our information and educational programs, we are targeting the community members themselves to ensure that they protect their rights. But mobilization and advocacy, the issue is very big, and it's not us alone who can deal with this. The parliamentarians, most of them know that these issues sometimes, the issue of land is very sensitive. You know, it can actually lead you into a civil war. And we know the problem that we have normally with cadres in most of the areas where land disputes have been a problem. But what we are happy to note
Council to consider giving rebates to companies and stakeholders upholding community social responsibility constantly. Honorable Gary Nkombo was speaking when he officially received water borehole for Mazabuka Town Center Monday afternoon from the Islam region, spearheaded by Muhammad. Mr. Nkombo recalls that Muhammad applied last year, was overturned, but has continued helping the community with his personal resources, which the Member of Parliament hopes if he applies next, the Council should consider his appeal.
And see the way forward, how we can also, the town attack is
You will
there,
need to for
other cancers are there. Let's sit and see the way forward. Otherwise, we are remission. When somebody does a gesture like this, which is not a long gesture, he has done more than 50 boreholes that I know in this constituency in the last 10 years. And therefore, when a request comes to give remission, please, you can make an exception to the rules because of the corporate social responsibility that they have shown to the community. These are the same people that you are saving. We have not dug a borehole for them. He has dug a borehole for them. And therefore, you can also reciprocate by giving some discount or some.
Meanwhile, the Mazabuka Mayor Vincent Lilanda, who was in the company of the Mazabuka Town Clerk during the handover of the hand pump, states that the council will sit down to discuss on the matter. He notes that it is important for business to come on board and supplement the efforts of the council.
Down and see the way forward, how we can also, the town attack is there,
Other councillors are there. Let's sit and see the way forward. Otherwise, we are very thankful. Continue the good work that we are doing in our town. He has already mentioned also that it's not only in the water, I think garbage collection. And he's a member of the council. So the council, we have also one or two challenges. So as a stakeholder, I think he's supplementing the council efforts.
Joy FM News, truth in defense of freedom. Let's take it to the, let's take it to the mass. Take it to the, take it to the, let's take it to the mass. Take it to the, take it to the, let's take it to the mass. Take it to the, take it to the, let's take it to the mass. Yeah, baby. Apple Max, cool, real, and natural. A quality product from California Beverages.
Nsoma kubalimi bonse mwebaba mu kitundu kya Lubemba ate mu Northern Province akampani ka Pioneer kaneetlako imbuto y'amataba ipya ile itwa P32W. Iyi mbuto ilapapa bamakombo bamataba yalikoza ku kirala nakumpeze yaliba iyabeeka kabiri nangula enfulata ilokile okufikako yenna ilamena n'okukula ifo ba Pioneer City Company twasumina okutila ti infulata ewate nakalya lelo kyaba n'embuto mwabika munshiri ekyo byale n'embuto ya Pioneer P32W pakutila mwenga kamfulwa kabiri n'okuneetera obukumu buntu mu kabira imbuto y'amataba iya Pioneer P32W ilesangwa mu nkyende shonse omushishibwa embuto era n'omumaje po byale n'embuto ya Pioneer n'okumuna obukumu.
Okay.
And now, international news.
And now in international news, U.S. Representative Joseph Kennedy III has been defeated in his bid to become senator for Massachusetts. The grandson of assassinated presidential candidate Robert Kennedy lost the Democratic primary to incumbent Senator Ed McKay on Tuesday. Mr. McKay, 74, will stand for another 6-year term in the election on 3rd November. It is the first time a member of the Kennedy dynasty has been defeated in a congressional vote in the state. Mr. Kennedy, 39, is currently serving his 4th term in Congress and was seen as a favorite when he announced he would run for the seat in September last year. He was supported by House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and delivered the Democratic response to President Donald Trump's State of the Union address in 2018. 14 people are on trial in France over the deadly attack on the satirical magazine Charlie Hebdo in 2015. The BBC reports that most of the alleged accomplices are in court in Paris, but 3 are being tried in absentia. They are accused of helping the militant Islamist attackers who shot dead 12 people in and around Charlie Hebdo's Paris office in January 2015. The 17 victims were killed over a period of 3 days. All 3 attackers were killed by police. The killings marked the beginning of a wave of jihadist attacks across France that left more than 250 people dead. And now in sports news. Spain could be without Wolverhampton Wanderers winger Adama Traore for their Nations League matches against Germany and Ukraine after he tested positive for COVID-19, the Spanish Soccer Federation said on Tuesday. All members of Luis' squad were tested on arrival at the Las Rosas camp. Traore was due to undergo another test later on Tuesday to ensure that his result was not a false positive. Unless that is in the case, the 24-year-old Traore will be prevented from joining the squad in order to comply with UEFA's safety protocols. Traore, in the second member of the Spain squad to test positive after Mikel. Spain will face Germany away on Thursday and Ukraine at home on Sunday in Group D. As well, the news recap of headlines. The Ministry of General Education has pleaded that schools reopen for non-examination classes. The National Legal Aid Clinic for Women says there is need to sensitize traditional leaders on the importance and value of land. In international news, U.S. Representative Joseph Kennedy III has been defeated in his bid to become senator for Massachusetts. And in sports news, Spain could be without winger Adama Traore for their Nations League matches after he tested positive for coronavirus. On behalf of the entire production team, this has been Wanda B. Checker. Thank you so much for time. Bye for now.
joyfm, with authentic, authoritative, comprehensive, in-depth business, international, and local sports news. Was brought to you by Pioneer Seed Company.
Kadi yangu inakwali mi. Kampani ya mbeo za Pioneer la kupata tani mbeo za P3506W, P28090